In leaving the European Union, as we are doing, we have a duty to ensure that the outcome we achieve works for the whole UK, including Northern Ireland. For all of us who care about our country, for all of us who want this union of nations to thrive, that duty goes to the heart of what it means to be a united kingdom and what it means to be a government. Our job is not to deal with Brexit in theory, but to make a success of it in practice for all of our people. And nowhere is the need for practical solutions more vital than here in Northern Ireland, the only place where the United Kingdom shares a land border with an EU member state that is also a co-signatory to the Belfast Agreement. I've said consistently that there can never be a hard border between Northern Ireland and Ireland. I said it in my letter triggering Article 50, in my speech at Mansion House, and many times besides. During the referendum, both campaigns agreed that the border between Northern Ireland and Ireland must remain absolutely unchanged. Indeed, you only have to speak to businesses near the border, as I did yesterday, to see that the notion of a hard border is almost inconceivable. Thousands of people who cross and recross between the UK and Ireland in the normal course of their daily lives cannot be subject to a hard border as they go to work, visit a neighbour, or go to the supermarket. Neither would it be feasible for firms whose supply and distribution chains span the border. Many people in communities like Fermanagh and Newry remember the customs border posts, approved roads and security installations of the not-too-distant past. They recall the administrative burdens on business, the disruption caused to lives and livelihoods. In the Northern Ireland of today, where a seamless border enables unprecedented levels of trade and cooperation north and south, any form of infrastructure at the border is an alien concept. The practical consequences for people's day-to-day lives are only part of the story. Because the seamless border is a foundation stone on which the Belfast Agreement rests, allowing for the just and equal treatment for the identity, ethos and aspirations of both communities. Anything that undermines that is a breach of the spirit of the Belfast Agreement, an agreement which we have committed to protect in all its parts, and the EU says it will respect. Both sides in the negotiation understand that and share a determination never to see a hard border in Northern Ireland. And no technology solution to address these issues has been designed yet or implemented anywhere in the world, let alone in such a unique and highly sensitive context as the Northern Ireland border. Some argue that the right approach is for the UK to declare that we will not impose any checks at the border after we have left. If the EU required the Irish government to introduce checks, the blame would lie with them. As I said at Mansion House, this is wrong on two levels. First, this issue arises because of a decision we have taken. We can't solve it on our own, but nor can we wash our hands of any responsibility for it. So we must work together to solve it. Second, like any country sharing a land border with another nation, we have a duty to seek customs and regulatory relationships with each other to ensure borders work smoothly. And in Northern Ireland, that presents a particular challenge. The protection of the peace process and upholding our binding commitments in the Belfast Agreement are grave responsibilities. Not to seek a solution would be to resume our career as an independent sovereign trading nation by betraying commitments to a part of our nation and to our nearest neighbour. The reality is that any agreement we reach with the EU will have to provide for the frictionless movement of goods across the Northern Ireland border. Equally clear is that as a United Kingdom government, we could never accept that the way to prevent a hard border with Ireland is to create a new border within the United Kingdom. To do so would also be a breach of the spirit of the Belfast Agreement, and for exactly the same reason that a hard border would be. It would not be showing parity of esteem and just and equal treatment for the identity, ethos and aspirations of the unionist community in Northern Ireland to cut their part of the United Kingdom off from the rest of the UK. I do not think any member state would be willing to accept that in order to leave the EU, a nation must accept such a threat to its constitutional integrity. We made the choice to join as nation states. We must be free as nation states to make the choice to leave.